Warning. You're now entering a stream that isn't suitable for everyone. Be warned that this channel will have swearing, singing, sexual innuendos and lots of jokes that could easily offend. It is advised that you must be a little bit weird yourself to enjoy this channel, as those that thrive and enjoy the stream are weird in their own little ways. The chat is called El Chatty and is a wonderful community. It really is. However, again, it might not be for everyone. We want to hear everyone's opinion, no matter what it is. We encourage debate as long as it's done respectfully. If you're easily offended or don't like differing views, then again, this channel is not for you. By entering this stream you do so at your own risk. If you want to try it out, that's absolutely fine, but if you don't like it, no need to announce your departure, you can just leave quietly, as this isn't an airport.
Hello, beautiful people, how are we? Hope you're all well. Where is he? Boom, boom, boom. Just a lesson, do not drink your own piss, kids. 100% pee. Do not drink your own piss, urine. Here we go, let's take it back down there. Oh my days, what are we doing, right? Who we got here? We got here today. We got Kelly in the house. How are you, my darling? Nice to see you. Robin G, hello, my darling. Nice to see you as well. Hello, Sassy Bartender. Thank you, my darling, and you as well. Viv, hello, my darling. I love your profile picture now. I've not forgotten about you. Don't you worry about the stuff. Oh, by the way, Viv, so just so you know, the big mic, the one I thought was a dildo for Dana, that's fixed. Delicate but fixed. The other one, the smaller one, I can't get the glasses on it. So, but it's all in one shape except for the glasses not on it. But it's fine. It looks great. It looks great, my darling. Thank you again. Here we go, Sarah P, Sarah P, Sarah P, 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 Sarah P, Sarah P, Sarah P is lovely. Look at that. Guten Morgen. Bore da, Daffodil. Good morning to you, Daffodil. How are you, my darling? Keith. Good morning, good, kind-hearted people of the Altar Corner. You can all settle down and relax. Keith is trying to say, Daddy's here now. Don't worry, ladies, Daddy's here. That's what Keith's saying. Daddy's here, ladies. Settle down. Never gets ill, Keith. Thank goodness for Keith. I know. Sue, hello, my darling. Danielle, good morning. Good morning to you, Sarah P. Robin G. Danielle F. Morning, everybody. Disney Queen, good morning to you, my darling. It's really yucky day here in GA. It is 9:46 a.m. in case anyone. So it's 9:46 with you, but in the courthouse itself, in the only place in Georgia, it's 8:46 a.m. Jeepers. B Harmony, hello, welcome back, B Harmony. Missed you. What a cute little picture you. Look at that, the cutie pictures. I love it. How are you, my darling? Hope you're well, as always. There we go. Right, Daffodil's rocking it. Everyone's here, I think. Everyone's in line. Gary, hello, fella. Hope you're well, my friend. Love the picture of the snow as well. You've got a bit of snow there with you. Christine Fortunato. Hello, Christine. How are you? How are you, my darling? Hope you're well. Josie and Mustaf, they aren't as lovely. Fuck around and find out. I'm joking, they're lovely. Josie, how are you, my darling? Good morning to you, Ashley. Hello. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you are feeling better than. Yeah, I'm just on the road to recovery. I went to circuit training today. I could not finish it. I I think it's still coming out of me. The COVID, that is. But COVID's a real thing, people. So I'm taking it easy. There's a few things. I'm going to do members only, I think, tomorrow or Thursday. I'll explain a little bit more about. I'm going to move things around here. I've got Viv's stuff to put up as well. So I'm going to be moving stuff around. So that's what I'm probably going to do the rest of the week. So making those slight changes. Hey, Keith. Hippie chick. How are you? How are you, my darling? Amy Boobies. Boom, boom, boom. Amy's got big boobies. How are you doing, my darling? Hope you're well. The night of the Tyson fight Discord. Morning, sweetheart. I feel left out some days because I'm having to watch as much as I can every night. Your day. That's all good. Don't feel like that. I ever feel like that. Trust me. Don't ever feel like that. I get what you mean. I miss most streamers because they're all at night and I'm going to bed and stuff. I get it. You're a big part of the community, Viv. So don't you worry about any of that. Don't you worry about any of that. It's all good. You be here when you can be here, and don't worry about anything else. No worries at all. Very cutie. Cutie. Deb. How are you, my darling Deb? Deb, she's this time of year now. Deb, she's writing a list, checking it twice, giving it to Mr. Rhode Island Slice. He's pissed off because he retired. He's probably more busy now than when he was when he's working. KD, hello, my darling. How are you? Hope you're well. Nice to see you. To see you nice. How was your holiday, by the way? Was it nice? Don't forget to hit the like, please do. A little bit of snow, yeah. No snow here. I've got a sporadically stick. You saw me the last week or so. I was on my knees, Amy. I was on my knees, spent. I did, even now I'm not 100%, but I went to the gym and did half a circuit, and I was just like, I can't do anymore. I'm so wasted on energy. The COVID, whew, it hits you for 6. But yeah, so there we go. It doesn't matter as long as we know where it was. Okay. Hi, Amy. Love me some Amy also. There you go. There you go. You both got something in common. You both got big boobies, so it's good. Deb and Amy. Do you know what I got? Never had these before. Have you had these before, people? Gary, have you had this before? Tunnocks Caramel Log. I've never heard of it before. I got it from Farm Foods car on Friday. Went shopping with my parents on Friday and I just picked them up. They're all right. Never heard of them before, though. Never heard them before. Thank you very much, Viv. There you go. No charity yet. Right. Also, I'm excited. I'm obviously cooking a Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday night. I think I'm going to be doing it for my nieces and everybody, my sister, I think. But it's not going to be, I'll profess this, I'll preface this, or however you say it. I say it's not going to be completely Thanksgiving. I am definitely doing a turkey, and we're going to be stuffing bread up the turkey's arse. So maybe a bit different to what you used to. Yeah, Tucker. Yeah. I feel better. I had COVID. Yeah. I had COVID. So I'm on the mend. I went to the door. Oh, don't feel like that. You're the gatekeeper. Just feel like this. You're the gatekeeper. Yeah, they are. And you got discounts and stuff like that. So, oh no way. Mine was about 18 miles away from me. We go there just for the frozen stuff. I've never heard of this before, so I thought give it a try. It's all right. It's all right. Disney Queen. Disney Queen's going on holiday before long. Oh shit! Let me get this trial up then. Fuck. I'm just talking. I'm like, what trial? You and me were meant to be walking free in harmony. One fine day we fly away. Lisa Reed, no, she's not gay. Hey, 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 Lady Lee. No, Lisa Reed makes videos for us to enjoy. Hey, 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 hey. Let me Google this. Where's Dana? Dana, where are you, Dana? Dana sent me a message. I've not had a chance to actually message him back yet. Sorry, Dana. I'm not sure where I'm doing it from, Christine. I need to find it first. I need to find the mofo first. There we go. Oh, yes, I might be doing it from Lawn Crim. One of the best things that ever happened is that chat has been disabled. Oh, Deb, Rhode Island, here we go. I boosted it straight up for you. I was boosted for Deb. Bum, ba, ba, ba. The moment we walked in the joint, bow, bow, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, bow. Hey, Lisa Reed, how are you? Right, so that's up, ready. We'll see when that starts. It should start 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Thank you, Viv. I'm not sure if I'm 100% there yet, but I'm on the way back. Guess who's back again. Alternate corners back. Tell a friend. Why did they do that? The judge asked the chat in Law Crime and Court TV to be shut off, Christine, because people have been very rude in there, and they were being very they were not being very objective. They were saying that she was guilty, and the court did not like the way they were conducting themselves. So he told Law and Crime and Court TV that all chats must be turned off due to behaviour of the commenters. So Deb is saying, I'm doing Gary. So there you go, Gary. We got one lined up for you. Deb is already doing you. Oh, day after. So I'm gonna be, my Thanksgiving is turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, roasted carrots, roasted pastas, probably some swede, mashed, cauliflower cheese, maybe. Is that a thing? I think that's about it. Basically, you're going to do like a Sunday dinner, but UK version. Happy days. The only other thing that we have, and I'm not sure if you have it, mushy peas. Leo's mushy peas. Now that's gorgeous as well. Hello, Brenda. How are you, my darling? Roland's like, no, my husband. Sorry, Gary. Beans on toast, happy days. That is good. If I was doing beans on toast, I'd probably put some cheese on. Toast it, put some cheese on, and then put the beans on. Ooh, good. Especially the beans with their sausages in them. The mini sausages. They are, because they are gorgeous. And they'll do anything for you. Because they're gorgeous. I'll do any. Like, whoosh. Lady Di has just arrived. Don't say anything. Lady Di is in the house. Mushy peas. I'll get you a picture. Mushy peas. The way I like it is you have to soak them overnight. Mushy peas. So these are the ones I like. These are the ones I love it. These are the ones I love it. Mushy peas. Leo's. So come overnight. This is what we love. Ba 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 ba. Hey, that's the way I like it. Leo peace. That's the way I like it. Leo peace. Leo peace. Dry peace. And then you put it's got pea in there, sleeping tablet and stuff like that. You can then leave it soak overnight, and then bring it to the boil on the day after, and it is gorgeous. It's the only mushy peas I like properly, and they look like this. Once I get a picture of them, if I can get a picture of them, if I could get a picture of them, if I could get a picture of them, if I could get a picture of them. Oh, oh, here we go. There's a variety here. So here we go. Enter your birthday. No, it's all good. Oh, what the fuck is this about now? No, it's fine. I can share it for you. Bum, 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 bum. Ah, peace. Share screen. Pinterest. Here we go. So this is it. This is peas. Gorgeous. Chip chop style peas. Because they're gorgeous. And mushy peas go with fish. Because they're gorgeous. So, no joke, right? Or fish and chips is pretty much a staple. You have to use mushy peas with them. These are nice. I'm not even kidding you, people. They're nice. I mean, don't be snobs now. These are fucking gorgeous. It's one of my favourite veggies. There you go. You put them in there and they break down from there into that. Oh, yeah. They are gorgeous. They are. They are gorgeous. They are. Hey, Mark. How you doing? You. I mean, we foreigners, Amy, we are family. Yeah, sing it with me, Amy. You Americans and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Amy's got big boobs. Boop, 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 boop. Amy's got big boobs. Yay! Right, I think you guys are weird as well. So we'll go 1-1 on that one. The mushy peas are one of my favourite vegetables. One of my favourite vegetables. Do you eat them like a dip, Dylan? No, I don't eat sugar. I don't. Some people do. I don't. I just put it on the plate as normal and just eat it. It's gorgeous. I tell thee now. It is gorgeous. I'll do anything for you. Little like mashed potatoes. I love homemade peas soup. Yeah, they're mashed. They're mashed. Yes. Are you a red sauce, Gary? If I have to have sauce, I used to be a huge red sauce fan, but now I'm not really a sauce fan. I can go without, if that makes sense. Now, when I was younger, no way could I go without. Okay, we're just waiting on it. We refresh this page. It's not as if they were supposed to start 8 minutes ago. Okay, got that ready. So yeah, so we go. So today, rebuttal. We got a witness on today, which the judge wanted on, and the doctor. So the case in chief has been arrested by both. The hello, Florida Tim. Hello, sir. The what do you call them? I don't remember what you call them. Right, Florida Tim's in the house. Hello, Florida Tim. So yeah, so we got that. We got rebuttal. Maybe they switch to Pacific time. Oh, fuck, Carol. That's a good one, Robin. Can you imagine? Friggin' Nora. Anyway. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know why he does this. Yeah, I don't mind brown sauce, but I much prefer ketchup. And now I much actually would go no sauce, red ketchup, then brown sauce. Ugh. B. And then, yeah, so closing statements, arguments should be this afternoon. I've stripped it down to 2 streams. Daffy They'll behave, not that kind of stripping. So we've got a morning and afternoon session. Closing statements probably this afternoon. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it'll be quite quick today. Hopefully. She's not standing. She's decided not to stand for trial. But why is she smirking? I don't get that. But anyway. Need to get some music here to wake us all up. Bumpy, bumpy.
Sarah P, Sarah P, Sarah P, 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 Sarah P, Sarah P, Sarah P is lovely. Erin Hattree drives the bus, yellow bus, yellow bus. Erin Hattree drives the bus all day long. Josie and Murph Turf, they aren't as lovely. Fuck around and find out I'm joking, they're lovely. Tits and clams, that's a Shari D. Tits and clams, that's a Shari D.
So I'm looking for stuff.
It's a little bit bushy inside of this place. We men, we are an absolute disgrace. We need to trim it, we need to trim it, we need to trim it now. We need to trim our bushes now.
I'm not joking, I did. I woke up, I was like, oh, let me look for something else. I was fast asleep. I woke up, I was like, what did we just play? I had no idea what just happened. I'm just like, hello to you all. Oh, jeepers, so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Viv, send your love to your heavenly birthday to your mother. Heavenly birthday, Viv. Heavenly birthday to you, my darling. Josie knows now. Good grief, I know. I'm bad. I can't do songs. People get pissed off with the song. So he tried to. I did because I was like, oh, I'm just looking for something. I was actually looking for something. I was looking for something. I didn't realize I fell asleep. I heard snoring. Oh, jeepers. So even though I'm much better from COVID, I still got sleep apnea, people. So, yeah. There you go, Viv. Dev sending you love as well. Delaney, you scared me for a moment. Don't be scared. It's fine, Viv. Look into the back of your. I don't know. I didn't even know I was really. I was doing it. I was just staring. I obviously woke up, stared at the screen, and going, "Oh fuck, I'm live." Shit. Let's look for something. Lovely, daffodili. Oh. So I'm sure she'll be watching. There you go. Sure she'll be proud of you, Viv. Writing a program, my face was looking away. So yeah, I would say that's embarrassing, but I don't really get that embarrassed with you people, so it's fine. But yeah, a few times I've dropped off. I don't even know what I was watching, and why is I putting on 10-second videos? I should put on a fucking 20-minute one. Is this court's fault? This court's. Let me just see if it's on any other channel. Oh, 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 oh.
December 9th, 2020. Police respond to a call at 2:30 p.m. in the Mountain View subdivision of Canton.
Okay, move that across. Come on, court. Jeepers, get started, court. You do me dirty now, court. The court is doing me dirty right now. What's this? No, Sasmas. Glad you enjoyed the trial. Hope you're well, my darling. Oh. All right, let's go back to on crime there. Dan, do you have an idea of what to trial next? No. I know that next I'm going to be cover members only because I'm going to be redoing the room in here. So I think Thursday and Friday I'm going to be redoing this, reorganizing this room. I think next week, whatever will be. Que sera, sera, wherever will be, will be. So I don't have any. That's what we want. I haven't got that. That's the way I like it. I got a new phone. How to get back into school? Just good question. Follow the link. A good question. It should be, if you remember. So I've tried to do it now. So YouTube controls it a lot more now. So if you remember, should take you directly to it, and when your membership ends, it should then take you away from it or something like that. I think they are, because it's so crap, and so many people now are on YouTube. They're trying to redo stuff. Larkin Riley. Yes and no. The problem with Larkin Riley one is the best bits are, obviously know what will happen, but it's bench trial, so it's a little bit. I don't know. And also, I want to redo this room as well between now and the weekend. So I might do some members only for it. Here we go. I don't. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. Leave it with me.
Ms. Trethaway, you may call your next witness, please.
Judge, at this time, the defense will rest.
All right, thank you. Members of the jury, the state and the defense have closed their cases in chief. Georgia law provides that when a defendant has raised a defense of not guilty by reason of insanity, the law provides that a third party make an evaluation of the defendant. By third party, I mean I say psychologist that is not associated with either the state or the defense. The third party evaluator in this case is Dr. Jacqueline Zom. You may have heard her mentioned in the testimony earlier. She is here this morning. Both the state and the defense have stipulated to her qualifications as an expert, and she is going to be testifying for you. Each side will have the opportunity to ask her questions. So, Dr. Zom, you can come forward. Yes. If you will place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in the matter pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. If you will state your name for the record, please.
My name is Dr. Jacqueline Zom.
All right. And Ms. Gropper, I'll let you proceed.
Good morning.
We've stipulated to your qualification as an expert, but because the jury's had the benefit of hearing from other experts and their background, could you tell the jury a little bit about your education and experience with regard to forensic psychology?
Yes, can I just ask, is this too loud? Am I
No.
vibrating anyone's eardrums?
I think it's okay.
Okay,
I can turn it down a little bit if you're uncomfortable.
thank you. My undergraduate degree is from Georgia College and State University. I have a Bachelor of Science with a major in psychology. My graduate training is from Georgia School of Professional Psychology at Argosy, Atlanta. Throughout my graduate training, we're first required to become generalists as psychologists. So we all have very similar training in terms of our graduate school training. However, during all of my practicum and in-person kind of hands-on learning opportunities, I focused on evaluation and assessment. So that has been where my training has primarily focused. My residency was at Mississippi State Hospital, which is right outside of Jackson, Mississippi. In Mississippi, it's similar to Georgia Regional. It's the state psychiatric hospital where individuals are treated for severe and pervasive mental illness, including individuals who have been forensically committed or who have been found in need of treatment to be restored to competency, or are being housed after being found not guilty by reason of insanity. So my residency included forensic rotation on a forensic ward where I provided group and individual counseling for competency restoration, as well as involvement in evaluations to determine both competency to stand trial and criminal responsibility. During that time, I also completed an external private rotation that focused on the similar referral questions. Since that time, I came back to Georgia, completed my postdoctoral training at Georgia Psychological, which is where I was employed when I initially conducted this evaluation. Throughout my time there, I served as clinical director over a small clinic of approximately 5 assessors, evaluators. Most of my work there involved juvenile court, as well as some family court, and some cases similar to this one. All of my experience since completing my graduate training has involved evaluation and assessment. So that is kind of where my expertise lies.
Okay, and when you use the terminology evaluation and assessment, what do you mean by that?
Psychological evaluation, psychosexual risk offender evaluations, domestic violence, substance abuse, questions regarding parental fitness or risk for child abuse, as well as criminal responsibility. Also, the question that is before this court, whether someone is criminally responsible, although those do come to us far less frequently because they are not presented to the court in as higher numbers as we see these other referral questions.
Okay, so the criminal responsibility assessments you do come in smaller numbers than the other types of assessments?
Far smaller numbers, yes.
Okay. Thank you. I want to talk to you a little bit about your evaluation in this case. The court's kind of told the jury that the law provides that a neutral third-party doctor will conduct an evaluation. So we've never worked together before. Is that fair?
That is fair.
Okay. And you completed a 38-page report in this case, right?
That is correct.
And tell the jury a little bit about what you reviewed in this case in terms of collateral documentation, apart from your actual evaluation of Ms. Driver.
Okay. For this case, I received extensive collateral documentation. I received, I believe it was approximately 1,200 pages of documentation pertaining to medical treatment. I received what I believe were all of the interviews of the parties who were present at the time that the alleged event occurred, including the interviews with Mr. Benjamin Ben Mikhail, the 2 ladies who were present in the home, Jessica and Sarah. I received interviews of Ms. Driver herself that were conducted by Detective Cruz, and I received the police narratives of all of those interviews as well as the actual interview itself. I also received some documentation of a handful of calls that were placed from the jail. I did not receive previously completed evaluations.
Okay. And your statement about not receiving previously completed evaluations at the time that you were conducting your evaluation, what was the reason for that?
So I'm not sure if they would have been provided to me or not, but I did request in this case that they not be provided to me, given that my role was to be a neutral evaluator. So I did not want to see the work of a previous evaluator and their conclusions.
Okay. And so did you conduct your evaluation review of the material and complete this 38-page report, having no idea what the other doctors in the case had found?
So I was told that at the onset of the case, I was told that Ms. Driver had been evaluated twice and that both evaluators agreed that she was suffering from severe mental illness, had a significant mental health history, but that they had differing opinions in some areas.
Okay. But beyond that, you had not reviewed their reports? And
No.
you specifically requested that you not receive them so you could conduct your independent analysis?
That is correct.
All right. And did you also, as part of your review of this case, receive information about things like her cell phone searches?
I did.
Okay. And any other potential video documentation?
I received a video that was taken, I believe, by Ms. Driver or by someone with Ms. Driver that occurred during what appeared to be a point where her daughter had been taken from her and she was not with her daughter and was attempting to go to a place to meet the father in order to be with her daughter.
Okay. I want to talk to you about your evaluation, your actual evaluation of Ms. Driver and your interaction with her.
Actually, can I add one more additional
Yeah, of course.
that I did not mention? I apologize. I also received what I believe was a transcript. I'm sorry, not a transcript, but an audio recording of her conversation that appeared to have been taped by Mr. Benjamin McHale, where he had recorded various statements she had made in the time leading up to the alleged events.
Okay. And after you review, any idea how much time you spent reviewing all of that collateral documentation?
I would say between 10 and 16 hours.
Okay. And after did you review all that before you went to meet with Ms. Driver?
I did not review all of it before I went to meet with her. I believe that I had received it and had reviewed some, but I had not reviewed all of it before I met with her. Much of it was also reviewed multiple times.
Okay. And you, on page 19 of your report, you discussed sort of your behavioral observations and mental status of Ms. Driver when you actually went to go see her at the Cherokee County Adult Detention Center?
Yes.
All right. And is it fair to say that you notated in your report that you found Ms. Driver to be of above average intelligence?
I believe her to be of above average intelligence, yes.
And why did you reach that conclusion?
Well, she, reported to have done well in school and excelled academically before she dropped out, but also her communication is very sophisticated. Her language, her use of words, her vocabulary and use of vocabulary in conversation is, I believe, to be above average, as well as she's very articulate and detailed in describing things in a manner that would be consistent with at least average, more than likely above average intelligence.
Okay. You also indicated in your report that she was very much aware of the legal details surrounding her case. What did you mean by that?
She was very much aware that I would be conducting a third evaluation. She was very much aware that she had been evaluated previously on 2 different occasions. She was very much aware that my report would not be confidential, that it would be provided to the court, to the attorneys. She was very much aware of how to reach her attorney should she need to do so. She was also aware in a manner that was quite unique for someone in her situation, in that she spontaneously articulated that 3 years had passed since the offense occurred, alleged offense, and she recalled in much greater detail in terms of her own symptoms and what was going through her mind at the time in far greater detail in the previous evaluations that occurred sooner after the alleged event. So she herself had some concerns regarding, I guess the appropriate word would be the validity of this evaluation, given that so much time had passed.
Okay. And did you notate in your report sort of your lack of concerns with regard to her memory and her ability to recount certain things?
I perceived her to be able to recall things in great detail. I perceived her memory to be, she was able to articulate very things well and seemed to have a very vivid memory for the circumstances leading up to the alleged offense.
All right. And I want to talk to you a little bit about your report as it relates to sort of getting background information about Ms. Driver before you kind of got into the substance of the offense and her mental state surrounding the offense. What did she describe to you about her childhood?
She described basically that she had grown up. She didn't use the word loving. It seemed as though her home may have not been particularly there may not have been a lot of overtly expressed affection, but she seemed to perceive that she was well cared for, did not describe abuse by her parents, and perceived that her needs and most of her wants were provided.
Okay. She described herself as being boy crazy.
Yes.
Okay. She told you about moving in with boyfriends when she was 15 years old and then with a second boyfriend in 2017.
Yes, she described herself as being a difficult child to parent.
Okay. And she reported to you a lot of history of drug use with cocaine, ecstasy, MDMA.
She did report an extensive drug use starting at a very early age.
Okay. And she indicated that she had gotten some of those drugs from her boyfriends, but also gotten some of those drugs from her brothers.
I believe primarily her boyfriend, her brothers maybe on a couple of occasions was my perception.
Okay. And she reported to you also that she was sexually abused by both of her brothers.
She didn't use those terms explicitly. It seemed that something had occurred. It didn't seem that she perceived it to be a malicious intent.
Okay. She told you that her brothers didn't know what they were doing when they hurt her? Okay. Specifically with regard to her relationship history with the two boyfriends she lived with prior to meeting Benjamin, isn't it true that she told you that she was becoming increasingly spiritual while she was dating them and feeling guilty about the life decisions she was making?
She did.
Okay. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about, obviously she told you she met Benjamin and she started a relationship with him when she was 17. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. What did she tell you about sort of the relationship dynamics or the cult dynamics involving Jessica and Sarah and their feelings toward one another?
I believe her language, and I'd have to look back at my writing to be 100% accurate, but I believe the language that she used was that they came on soon after her, and initially she was okay with it. It seemed that contention primarily surfaced after the birth of her daughter when she wanted to live as a family.
Okay. And just with regard to language, is it fair to say that on page 26 of your report, she told you that by the time the baby was 7 or 8 months old, she hated the other wives because they wanted to have a child with and they hated her because she had a child with him first?
Correct.
And isn't it true that she expressed to you multiple times that you documented in your report her desire for stability and her desire to be able to give Hannah a normal life?
Correct.
And one of the things that you documented in your report is that he had kept promising her that he would give her a house and a community to raise her baby in.
Yes.
Okay. And did that seem to be of significant importance to her surrounding the dynamics of that relationship?
It did.
Okay. Isn't it true that in your evaluation of her, she had an extensive amount of knowledge surrounding sort of the, I don't know what to call it other than fraudulent conduct of the cult?
Can you repeat that?
She had an extensive knowledge of the conduct of this organization, how they got money, how they got cars, how they planned to get houses.
She did.
Okay.
She did. And it was very complex, such that it was confusing to me.
Okay. Did she try to explain it to you?
She did.
Okay. And in fact, she told you that They had all applied for COVID loans under each of their trusts, but she was the only one that got approved.
She did say loans. It may have been COVID. I would have to look back at my exact language, but I do recall the mention of loans that seemed to be very large sums of money that they had all applied for, and she was the only one who was approved, yes.
Okay. And she indicated that they had RVs and vehicles that they had no license and they had no insurance, but they would always get out of it when they got pulled over because they had the trust documentation.
Correct.
And she also told you that their plan of going from North Carolina down to Florida was because they planned to steal 2 houses with their trust that they located on Zillow.
Correct.
And she also indicated to you that they had previously gotten free vehicles utilizing this trust.
Correct.
And did she seem to have an extensive knowledge of sort of the inner workings of that?
She did.
I want to talk to you next about maybe some of the things that she represented to you that were not supported by the collateral documentation. I noted that one of the things in your report was that she told you when she was admitted into the hospital that she weighed 80 pounds. Is that fair?
I can't recall if she said when she was admitted to the hospital or during the culmination of her struggles that led up to the alleged events, but she did note losing significant weight and weighing approximately 80 pounds.
Okay. If your report said that she said when she was admitted to the hospital she was 80 pounds, would you have any reason to disagree?
I would not disagree with that.
Okay. And you actually notated in your report that you had the medical records, and her medical records indicated that she had normal BMI, right?
Correct.
And in the medical records, it also indicates that she wasn't 80 pounds. She was 113 pounds upon admission.
Yes, it had the kilograms, and I did have to do the conversion online. But yes, that is what I noted from her medical records.
Okay. So she had underreported to you that she was 33 pounds skinnier than what she actually was.
It seemed so based on the documentation that I had in the medical records as compared to her self-report.
Okay. That she was exaggerating how thin and frail she was?
That she was exaggerating or either had misperceived or either was representing a different point in time.
Okay. I want to talk to you about your review of her searches. I think you documented several of them in your 38-page report.
I did. Some were repeated and some were similar, so I don't think that I documented all of them, but I did document many of them, yes.
Okay. And you would agree with me that on November the 22nd and November the 23rd, she started searching things about whether she was sinning being with a married man, whether she was sinning having a baby with a married man.
Yes.
Okay. Was this consistent with her statements to you that she was starting to question sort of the ideological views of the cult?
Yes.
Okay. And those things were not related to any delusion she was having. She just indicated that they were related to her questioning the value system of the cult.
That was my perception, that she was questioning the beliefs that were being taught within the group.
Okay. And that was on November the 22nd, November the 23rd?
I wouldn't disagree with that. I'm not looking at the date, but that seems correct.
Sorry, do you have your report there?
I do.
It's on page 12.
Thank you. If you can reference the page.
Yeah, of course. So you're aware that on the 25th of November, 2 and 3 days after she was searching about whether she was sinning being in this group, she searched killing someone to save them.
Correct.
All right. And then you're aware that subsequently, 5 days after that, she was researching how to snap a neck and looking at websites about how hard it was to kill someone by breaking their neck.
Correct.
Okay. And then you're also aware that on the day that she killed Hannah, December the 8th, she was Googling how to get a bus ticket for a 13-month-old.
Correct.
Okay. And you indicated that you had seen the video from November the 27th where she says, "My name is Chloe Driver. He has my baby. I'm being forced to go against my will." Is that the video you're talking about?
Correct.
All right.
That is.
And she represented to you that she went back to him and her plan was to get her baby and run, right?
Correct.
Are you aware that after she went back to him, she did get her baby and then she returned to her mother's house for a couple of days?
I am.
Okay. And then he wanted to go look at some property in Knoxville, so she left with him again to go look at property in Knoxville.
Yes.
Okay. So the last time that she returned to him, she actually had the baby with her at her mom's house, and she went to him to go look at property.
That was the way I interpreted her narrative. Yes.
Okay. And in your review of all the medical records, you said you had 1,200 pages of medical records and collateral information. Is it fair to say that Ms. Driver, of her own volition, at multiple times refused any type of medication to treat any type of psychiatric condition?
That was reported in the medical records from the hospital. Yes.
And that she specifically reported that it was against her belief system to take any of those medications.
That's what the hospital records indicate. Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to talk to you about specifically the delusions that she reported that relate to Hannah. Well, first let me, let's do that. It's on page 31. Is it fair to say that as it relates to Hannah and sort of what she told you about her motivation for committing the act, that her delusion was that when she would breastfeed Hannah, she would sort of give Hannah all of her pain and all of her sin?
Yes.
Okay. And did she attribute that to be sort of one of the significant things telling her that she needed to kill Hannah?
It seemed to be a part of the rationale in her mind of why she needed to kill her daughter. Yes, the narrative was very complex, and because the idea is not rational, it's very hard to restate it in terms that equate to rational thoughts, but that seems consistent with the narrative that she portrayed. Yes.
Okay. And so you said that it was kind of hard to follow because there was more of a narrative than a concise individual
Correct.
thing. Was the overarching theme of the narrative she gave you that she wanted to kill Hannah to save her?
Correct.
Okay.
To save her from a life of pain and catatonic depression and abuse.
Okay. And is it fair to say that some of that was based upon sort of the reality that she was living in the cult dynamic?
It did seem that the reality in which she was living was all wrapped up in her thought processes as well. While some of the thoughts were irrational, some of the thoughts of feelings of oppression and isolation were indeed what she was experiencing.
Okay. So the isolation and oppression were maybe more reality based, and then she maybe had some irrational thinking sort of overlapping with her odd ideologies.
Yes, and while it didn't seem that exact narrative was part of the teaching of the group, there was a narrative of that this small number of women in this small chosen group were responsible for the sins of the world. So there was that component as well, that some of the narrative that she had taken on had been a part of the teachings.
Okay. But as it relates to whether the beliefs that she articulated to you are religious teachings based and like genuinely held beliefs, or whether they're over here in the irrational mind that she's on her own independent thinking, whether they're in either category, did everything she articulated to you as her motivation relate to her essentially feeling like she needed to save Hannah?
Yes.
Okay. Did she ever articulate to you in any way that she felt threatened by Hannah?
No.
Did she ever articulate to you that she felt like she needed to defend anybody against Hannah?
No.
Did she ever indicate that Hannah was a danger to anyone around her?
No.
I want to talk to you specifically about what she told you. Obviously, would you agree with me that when we're talking about the question of what somebody's mental state is at the time they commit the crime, we have to look at the crime itself?
Correct.
and that's important for you to get as many details as possible surrounding the actual incident?
It's important to get as many details as possible surrounding the incident in order to compare the individual's narrative to what is indicated in collateral sources to hopefully understand on some level how lucid they were, what was their decision making like, and what were they thinking. Yes.
Okay. And when you say how lucid they were, what do you mean by that?
How clear were their thoughts? Were their thoughts reality based, and what were their thought processes overall?
Did you, and I can't recall, so refresh my memory, did you request or review any of the officer's body cam footage in this case?
I did not request it.
Okay.
I did not review it. In fact, I did not receive it, likely because I did specifically ask not to see visual images.
Okay. But if she was making statements on the scene minutes after she stabbed Hannah, would those things be relevant to how lucid she was and what her mental state was at the time?
They would be, and I believe some of those statements were articulated in the narratives, which I did review.
Okay. So you're aware that she said things on the officer's body cam like, is that it? Is that goodbye? With relation to her daughter dying?
I don't recall that specific statement. I do recall I want to see her one last time, and I think that is documented in my report.
Okay. And do you know anything about her making statements of let him be with her, let him be with her?
I do recall that.
Okay, and that's when officers were trying to make Benjamin leave the room?
I do recall that.
Do you recall any information about the EMT calling Hannah a boy and Chloe Driver correcting her and saying it's a girl?
I do not recall that. I don't dispute that, but I don't recall that.
Do you recall any information about something coming over the officer's radio saying the baby's being transported, and Chloe responds by saying, is she alive?
I don't specifically recall that. I recall that question after she was receiving treatment shortly after in the hospital when she had first started to seem to regain consciousness, but I don't recall that from the scene as they were leaving the home.
Okay. What did she report to you about from the time she entered that room with Hannah? How much information and detail did she report to you? It's on page 36 of your report if you want to reference it. About what events took place in that room, what she did.
She was very detailed in her description of what took place in the room, and her detail was provided spontaneously, meaning that I did not have to ask a lot of guided questions. It was much a spontaneous narrative that she recalled becoming distressed. It seems that she was very much aware that she was having these thoughts of hurting herself and Hannah, and therefore did not want to be in a room by herself, and had attempted to go into the room with the other women, and Ben Michael motioned for her to go into the room alone. And she recalled Hannah not having on a diaper, only having on the rubber cover for the diaper, and asking for a diaper and a shirt, I believe. She recalled breastfeeding her. At some point prior to this, she'd gone back downstairs to get the knife, came into the room, locked the door, recalled getting the dirty shirt when she had asked for a clean shirt in order to make the child presentable, as they were anticipating going to a 12 tribes meeting at some point in the immediate future. And she recalled getting the dirty shirt and feeling like that was another indication that she was supposed to do this. She was supposed to take her life in Hannah's. She recalled feeding her, calmly lying her down, and then taking the knife and attempting to kill both Hannah and herself.
Okay. And she told you that sort of Benjamin throwing her the dirty shirt was kind of what triggered her, that she wanted to kill herself and kill Hannah.
It was one of the things that triggered her that she described in this series of events in the hours and minutes proceeding. But yes, that I believe was the last thing that she described as being a triggering event.
Okay. And in your report on page 36, it says, from that moment on, I snapped, talking about the dirty shirt. Would those be her words?
Those are her words.
Okay. And you indicated that she said that she fed Hannah. And isn't it true that she said she fed her and then she laid her down on the bed and she was happy?
Yes.
Okay. And what did she say happened next?
Do you want me to read it word for word, or do you want me to recall from the best of my memory?
Well, I guess I'll kind of walk you through it.
Okay.
She indicated that she went down and grabbed a knife from the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she told you that she just grabbed a random knife out of the knife block and she didn't even look at it, right?
Correct.
And she went upstairs and she locked the door.
Correct.
Okay. Did you engage in any conversation with her about why she locked the door?
I did not.
Okay. And she indicated that she played a lot of video games, and that in the video games that she played, when you stab someone, they die immediately, right?
Correct.
And so she says, I have the knife and I'm up here and I'm up there. I don't know where to stab either of us. And I think the throat might kill us immediately. Is that what she told you?
Correct.
Okay. And so then she said she breastfed her and she laid her down on the bed and she was happy. Are you aware that she told another evaluator that when she laid her down on the bed before she stabbed her, she apologized to her?
I was not aware of that.
Okay. Did she tell you that?
She did not. I do not recall her telling me that. I believe if she had told me that, it would be in my report in this paragraph.
Okay. And she then told you, I stabbed her in the throat, but she was not dead. She is just quiet and bleeding out, right?
Correct.
And I stabbed myself in the throat 3 times. And then you put in your report, she made a twisting motion to demonstrate. What do you mean by that?
She kind of demonstrated what she was articulating verbally.
Okay. And she told you that at that point, after she had stabbed Hannah in the neck and stabbed herself in the neck, she's standing there wondering, why are we not dying?
Correct.
And at that point, she indicated she heard Z coming upstairs.
Correct.
And that he opened the door, and before he walked in, she was confused about why they weren't dying immediately. And so she tried to stab herself one more time in the heart.
Correct.
All right. And she indicated that in that moment, she thought that they were coming into the room to save them.
Correct.
And she didn't want to be saved because she didn't want to deal with all the pain that she imagined in the world.
Correct.
Okay. Safe to say that her memory about those events was very intact?
That was, yes.
Okay. Why is, you said, you want to assess whether somebody is lucid, their ability to sort of, what their thought process was, like, why is it significant and important that somebody has a detailed memory of a particular event?
Well, during psychotic states, people can oftentimes be confused. Sometimes they are not. They can oftentimes be confused. So it's important to assess their level of confusion, how much they can recall. Also, it's very important to, one of the things we're always looking for in cases such as this one is the person a reliable informant, or are they fabricating information and fabricating symptoms in order to achieve a desired outcome? So it's important to compare their narrative to that of collateral sources. So the primary reason for understanding their description of the events is, one, to determine if it aligns or does not align with other sources of information, in effort to determine if the person seems forthcoming or if they seem to be presenting information in effort to gain a desired outcome.
Okay. With regard to information that she may have reported to other evaluators, if she told Dr. Ballard, when specifically asked if she knew whether her behavior was wrong, yeah, as soon as it happened, I regretted it. I thought I shouldn't have done this. This was not supposed to happen. Would that be consistent with how she presented to you?
Yes, she didn't state anything to me that indicated otherwise.
Okay.
It's not inconsistent with what she described to me.
Okay. And if she told Dr. Garrett She recalled apologizing to Hannah and telling her how much she loved her before she stabbed her, but she was at peace with it, but that she knew it was wrong from the beginning. Would that be inconsistent with what she reported to you?
It's not inconsistent with what she reported to me.
Okay. And doctor, I took note in your report that you did not diagnose her with anything.
That is correct.
Why not?
So the experts in the field of psychology, the individuals who are experts on these types of evaluations, differ in their own opinions as to whether or not we should render a diagnosis in this type of evaluation. One school of thought says that a diagnosis helps the jury and the attorneys and helps psychologists in general to understand a person's mental state at the time, even though it doesn't necessarily describe their mental state at the time. It helps us understand a set of symptoms and helps explain behavior. The other school of thought says that a diagnosis can be confusing because the diagnosis doesn't necessarily align all the time with mental state at the time of the offense. And people can make certain assumptions based on diagnosis alone and may make inadequate judgments. So in other words, it can be reckless to do so because a diagnosis can communicate to a lay person information that is not what we're intending.
Okay. And what school of thought were you in not diagnosing her in this criminal responsibility report?
So I did not render a diagnosis. My reason was it's not critical to answer the referral question. The referral question pertains to her mental state at the time of the offense, and a diagnosis would not necessarily explain her mental state at the time of the offense. The diagnoses that I considered, one, can have negative, people can have very negative assumptions when they see this diagnosis. And then another diagnosis, people automatically make assumptions about psychotic symptoms. So without having the opportunity to explain her mental state, I did not want for the diagnosis that I rendered to communicate information about what I perceived to be her mental state at the time of the alleged offense. I prefer to articulate that verbally rather than to put a diagnosis on a report and possibly not have the opportunity to explain it.
Okay. And is your thought process on that, because whether or not she has a diagnosable mental illness is a question of medicine, and whether or not somebody is criminally insane is a question of law?
Correct.
And somebody can have a mental illness and not be criminally insane.
Correct.
And is that what you mean by sort of creating confusion?
In part, and someone can assume that a diagnosis means that mental health symptoms would not account for behavior at the time. So both situations, what you just said, and conversely, that someone could assume that other behaviors account for, that other explanations account for behaviors at the time of the alleged offense other than mental illness.
And I'm almost done, doctor, but I just want to sort of wrap up. You told us already that none of her delusions related to Hannah being a threat, harm, danger, or peril to her or anyone else, correct?
Correct.
And that all of her delusions related to Hannah and her need to kill Hannah was to save Hannah. Is that correct?
The delusions that involved Hannah seem to relate to her need to kill Hannah to save her, yes.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Zime. How are you?
Well, sir, thank you.
Just to follow up on that last set of questions, to be clear, Ms. Driver's delusions were not simply related to killing her daughter, correct? They were killing herself and her daughter, right?
Correct. And there were many delusional thought processes as well, but those that pertain to the alleged offense pertain to killing both herself and Hannah, correct?
And the action she took on December 8th was consistent with that delusion, meaning she stabbed her daughter and also attempted to kill herself, right?
Correct.
Okay. So let's kind of walk through your background. I may have missed this a little bit. You indicated that a lot of your forensic work after obtaining your doctorate was in Mississippi. Is that right?
Not after, before.
Before, okay.
Training.
How long were you there in Mississippi?
A year.
A year?
Correct.
And when did you get your Psych D? That's called.
I think I graduated in 2013. 2012, I'm sorry.
2012, your Psych D, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then after that, you spent a year in Mississippi.
The year was before.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So 2011-ish in Mississippi.
2011 to 2012, correct.
You got your Psych D
In 2012, the end of 2012.
And then you came back to Georgia
Correct.
to start practicing.
Correct.
Okay. Did you begin work at that point in time in 2012 with Georgia Psychology?
I did not. I did not return to work immediately, and I did not begin work. And well, I did briefly. I did not continue. I did not continue continuously during that time frame.
Okay. So who did you first work for when you
Georgia
started?
Psychological.
Okay. And when was that? When did you start with them?
2012, end of 2012 or beginning of 2013.
Okay. So I guguess I'm slightly confused there. How much work did you do for them?
So I worked with them for a year. I think there were about 3 years that my clinical work was minimal. And then I resumed work with them in 2015. And that is where I remained until this summer, until July 2024.
Okay. I think you opened your own practice.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. So you had a few years there where you weren't doing as much work with them.
Correct.
But got back to that in 2015. Okay. Since 2015, I think your testimony earlier was you've done a lot of different evaluations at Georgia Psychological.
Correct.
Just general psychological evaluations of individuals, right?
Yes. Most of my work with Georgia Psychological pertained to child custody, child protective services.
Defects, as we refer to it.
Yes. Also some disability adjudication referral questions.
And you said that you had much less frequent requests for criminal responsibility exams that you've done in this case, right?
Correct.
How many criminal responsibility exams do you think you've done since 2015?
Since 2015, only a handful. I was heavily involved in criminal responsibility during my internship. Since 2015, only a handful. I would say 4 or 5. Okay.
And the one that you've conducted in this case with Ms. Driver, that was just in the last 6 months, right?
Correct.
You evaluated her in May of 2024.
Correct.
Okay. Of the, you said 4 or 5 roughly criminal responsibility exams.
Correct.
Is this the first exam that you conducted that you've actually had to testify about?
This is the first time. No, it isn't. This is the second that I've provided testimony.
Okay. So it's fair to say, Dr. Zahn, that and you're familiar with this in conducting forensic evaluations back in Mississippi as well. Many of the criminal responsibility exams that you would conduct, you generally do not testify about those in court, right?
Correct.
For any insanity plea, you have to have an independent doctor from both sides, and this is her to testify on this, basically.
Correct.
Because ultimately you believe that the person does not exhibit significant signs to be deemed insane under law. Is that right?
Yes, statistically, the number who are deemed, well, first, it's not a defense that is often presented. And secondly, the number who are deemed to fit the criteria is very small, even as a percentage of the number who present with that defense. So yes, that is correct.
Okay. And you have conducted criminal responsibility exams on behalf of defendants in cases. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And that process is typically where based on the given facts of a case or circumstances that a lawyer has seen based on reviewing the evidence, they believe there might be an issue with a client and they are requesting you to make an evaluation, right?
That is my understanding of how it would come to me as a referral, yes.
At no time does any defense lawyer call you up and say, Dr. Zahm, I need you to find that this person is diagnosed with these mental health disorders so that we can create this defense.
No, no one has ever said that.
Okay. So whether or not to pursue a not guilty by reason of insanity or a competency evaluation in the case is based on the defendant's mental state that is presented in the facts of the case.
That is my understanding, absolutely.
Okay. Now, in this case, you indicated that you looked at various collateral sources that were provided to you, I think, by the DA's office.
That is
right?
correct.
And the list of those included her Chloe's medical records from Kennestone, right?
Correct.
Included the interviews from law enforcement, both with Ms. Driver and some of the other witnesses that were at the home at the date of this incident, right?
Correct.
You reviewed some cell phone searches, right?
Correct.
Some jail calls from Ms. Driver at the jail.
Correct.
And then this video that she recorded at the end of November with respect to going back to get her daughter, right?
Correct.
Did you review police reports from Asheville?
I did.
Okay. Was that one or two different police reports? Do you recall?
I think there is two, but I would have to reference my report to say that with certainty.
Okay. Let me ask you this way. Do you recall an incident where Ms. Driver was running out into the road
Yes.
trying to get away from Mr. Benyamin?
I do recall that.
Okay.
I recall that from her narrative as well as the police report, yes.
Okay. And then do you also recall a separate incident in which she called the police because Mr. Benyamin actually left with her child and took off with her?
Yes, I think I may not have been clear that that was in Asheville, but I do recall that incident as well. I think I may have presumed that that was at the location where her mother was residing, that
Okay.
call was placed.
And I'm not going to hold you to what's in those reports. We've actually heard testimony of witnesses that were there when those incidents happened. So, but you did review those.
Yes,
Okay. The cell phone searches that you reviewed, well, let me back up. The medical records that you reviewed, you don't find any dispute or disagreement with the medical records that indicated that Ms. Driver was suffering from delusions while she was in the hospital, do you?
that is correct. I think I cited in my report that I believed the sources of information that were presented over time to be highly consistent.
And she was also, I think, reporting some hallucinations while she was still in the hospital as well. Is that right?
I think that it was noted in the mental health records. I can't recall if they clearly articulated what those were, but I do recall that being noted in the mental health records from the hospital.
Okay. Those reports of delusions and hallucinations were consistent with other collateral sources that you had regarding Ms. Driver's state of mind leading up to this incident December 8th, right?
That is correct.
Reports from the other individuals that were interviewed were all reporting her state of mind or a destabilization of her mental state. Is that fair?
Correct.
And I think you also reviewed an audio recording that Mr. Benyamin had that he had provided to law enforcement on which she was talking about these delusions that she was experiencing, right?
Correct.
So it's clear based on your review of the records that Ms. Driver was absolutely going through stages of paranoia, experiencing delusions, and dealing with hallucinations in this build up to December 8th.
That is correct.
Okay. The cell phone searches, particularly, there are a couple of specific searches that she conducted, actually looking up the definition or the idea of schizophrenia. Is that right?
I recall the mention of schizophrenia. I would have to look at my report to know if she was looking up to see what it meant, but I do recall the mention of schizophrenia in one of her searches, correct?
Page 11 of your report, I think, Dr. Zom indicates the cell phone searches.
Yeah, I think it's just the word schizophrenia.
Okay. And she did that on 2 different days, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And she also looked up topics such as the whole world is programming me, correct?
Correct.
And she looked up on November 11th, mental institutions in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Correct.
Now, were you aware her parents lived in Knoxville?
I was.
Okay. So is that possibly something she was looking at in order to try to get help for the issues she was dealing with?
It seems so, and she mentioned multiple times that she had tried to get help and had asked for help.
Yeah, she was telling Mr. Benjamin and the 2 other wives and the other people that she was around that she needed help for the issues that she was going through, right?
That is correct.
And you understood that this religious philosophy that Mr. Benjamin had was to exclude the access to traditional medical treatment, right?
That was my understanding.
I guess I should say modern day medical treatment, not traditional medical treatment, right?
That is my understanding.
He did not want Miss Driver to be in a hospital, right?
That is my understanding.
In fact, he didn't even want Miss Driver in a hospital when their child was born, right?
That was my understanding based on what she reported.
He did not want her to be institutionalized in any way, shape, or form, right?
That was certainly my understanding.
And he certainly didn't want her to be on any pharmaceutical drugs.
That was my understanding as well.
And she was telling you that because he didn't want her breastfeeding their child with medicine flowing through her body, right?
I don't know if that was stated as the reason that he didn't want that. My perception was that it seemed to be more so consistent with his overall beliefs. I don't recall it being specifically from his rationale about the breastfeeding. I do recall her mentioning having some concerns about what she would ingest in breastfeeding, but I believe my perception was that him not wanting her to have medication was part of his overall philosophy of how this group of people should engage with the world.
And it was clear to you also that she, in a sense, was somewhat rejecting that idea of his philosophy, right? Because
it did seem certainly that she had started to reject his philosophy.
Even back to when the baby was born, she did not want to leave the hospital that quickly after the birth of the baby. Is that right?
That was my perception based on what she stated, yes.
She had indicated previous to the child's birth that she thought that they needed to be seeking prenatal care for the child. Right?
That was my understanding.
And particularly in this instance, she was searching for mental health institutions. She was searching for schizophrenia as a way to understand what she was going through. Is that fair?
I don't believe I asked her exactly why she was researching schizophrenia, but I certainly would not dispute that.
Your medical opinion as a psychologist, someone that is suffering from paranoia and delusions and hallucinations, those are all symptoms that are consistent with somebody that could be diagnosed with schizophrenia. Is that fair?
With a psychotic disorder, yes.
Yeah. The other 2 evaluators in this case, Dr. Ballard and Dr. Garrett, do you know either of them?
I don't know them. I did listen to their testimony, but I do not know them prior to this hearing.
And you're aware, based on listening to their testimony, I know you didn't read their reports, but listening to their testimony, they both diagnosed Ms. Driver with schizoaffective disorder, bipolar, correct?
Yes.
And borderline personality disorder, right?
Correct.
Do you have any issues or take any issues with those diagnoses that they made?
I do not take issues with those diagnoses. I think it was clear from the history that she likely meets criteria for borderline personality disorder, as well as there are both mood symptoms and psychotic symptoms, which is captured by the diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder, but could also be captured by other diagnoses. But yes, mood symptoms and psychotic symptoms are part of the clinical picture.
Okay. Yeah, you testified that there's a difference of opinion about whether or not in a forensic setting you should make a diagnosis.
Correct.
And I grant you that. You don't have any concern that Dr. Ballard and Dr.
No.
Garrett both made that.
No.
What you said you were considering some diagnoses. What were those diagnoses?
Borderline personality disorder, and bipolar disorder with psychotic features, or an unspecified psychotic disorder. I am very reluctant to diagnose schizoaffective disorder only because the particulars of that diagnosis, the minutiae details, are very difficult to capture from someone's self-report alone. So I'm very reluctant to assign that diagnosis if I didn't observe it within an inpatient setting.
Okay. Is it fair to say that you're conducting this evaluation some 3.5 years after the incident would also affect your ability to make a specific diagnosis of her in terms of her symptoms that she was exhibiting at the time that this happened?
I think she was incredibly vivid in describing her symptoms, and the mental health records are voluminous. So I wouldn't have necessarily had concerns about assigning a diagnosis for that reason.
Okay. But at the end of the day, your diagnosis is pretty close to Dr. Garrett and Dr. Ballard.
That is correct.
All right. How long was your interview with Ms. Driver?
I believe that it was around 3 hours.
Okay. And it was on one day, correct?
It was.
When you met with her, she reported at the time that she had been on medication at the jail for some time, right?
Correct.
And I think in talking to you outside, you did indicate that you don't believe you received any jail medical records.
I don't believe that I received mental health records from the jail.
Okay. So you don't know specifically what medications she had been on while she was out there, other than what she reported to you?
So I know what she reported to me. She also was articulate in, I believe, stating what she previously was prescribed, and I believe that is noted within my report. It was also noted on some of the hospital records, what she was prescribed at the time of discharge. I will say that I don't speak to the specifics of what medications are prescribed for. Even though a Google search may say they're prescribed for one thing, I believe that should be left to the psychiatrists and the medical treatment providers. I'm not a prescribing physician, and my experience is that most medications are prescribed for different things. Even though they may primarily be used to treat one thing, they're also used to treat other things. So I would defer any questions about medication.
But at the time you interviewed her, your belief was that she had been on medication for some time.
Correct.
And that she seemed to be fairly stable on that medication.
She did note that she had been taken off one medication and that she had experienced an increase in some symptoms, not psychotic symptoms. It seems she'd gotten into a fight, and that was out of character for her. So she had been on some medication for a very long time, but it seemed that medication had been changed.
Okay. But as far as it related to her psychotic symptoms, such as the delusions and hallucinations, the medication that she was on had been addressing those.
That was my belief, yes.
Okay. And that is how you perceived her when you were interviewed?
Yes.
Her, right?
She did not seem psychotic when I interviewed her.
Okay. Dr. Zahm, someone like Ms. Driver that had exhibited the symptoms that she, as you talked about, was clearly showing to others, the paranoia, the delusions, the hallucinations, before this incident. If someone is experiencing those things and is not getting treatment, is it fair to say that her condition will continue to worsen?
It's certainly expected in most cases that someone who is experiencing psychotic symptoms will continue to deteriorate in the absence of medication.
Is it also fair to say that someone that is not being treated for those illnesses and experiencing those symptoms, those delusions that she is hearing and receiving, it is going to grow harder and harder for her to not succumb to those.
So mental health symptoms, psychotic symptoms can be transient. They can come and go. They can worsen and lessen in severity. However, she was also in a stressful situation. So yes, it would be highly unlikely that her condition would spontaneously improve in the absence of treatment or removal of a stressor.
And it's clear from some of her cell phone searches that she was having these delusions about killing herself. She was actually searching things to kill someone, right?
Yes.
Now, there's no indication that she was searching to kill herself or someone else, just searching to kill some person, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. And she was searching for other things as well in a manner to basically extricate herself from the environment that she was in.
Correct.
Even on the December 8th, where she was searching for a bus ticket.
Correct.
For her child, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, let me talk to you about delusions to kill somebody. If I'm suffering a delusion that I need to kill the judge, and the judge knows I know her very well, I think she's a great judge, so that would clearly be a delusion in our sense. But hypothetically, if I'm suffering from a delusion and that delusion is telling me that I have to kill her for whatever reason that is it common that in that delusional state, I would search for a weapon?
It's not uncommon.
It would be consistent with my thinking in that delusional state that if I have to kill her, I have to do something to do that, correct?
Correct.
I have to find a weapon, a gun, a knife, some type of object for which I can carry out my plan, correct?
It's not unexpected.
Right. So if I did not have a weapon, I might search around for one, right? Like I might look, where's a weapon in this room that I can grab? What can I do with it, right?
Certainly.
But that's being done in that delusional state because I'm not capable at that point in time of thinking that, whoa, this isn't the right move, right? I'm delusional.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Well, a delusion is a fixed false belief in an idea, right?
Correct.
So if I have a fixed false belief that I have to carry out a plan to kill somebody, my mentality is going to tell me do whatever it takes for me to carry out that goal, right?
That is correct. I do think it's important to state that while she was suffering from delusions, her delusions were not as fixed as they are in some situations, which is also apparent in her internet searches. She's going back and forth between questioning the ideas of what she's being taught, questioning her own ideas, trying to look for a bus ticket to escape her situation while also looking up ways to kill someone. So yes, delusional, yes, she was suffering from delusions, not as entirely fixed as we do see in some situations.
But those situations, as far as how fixed or how severe those delusions are going to change over time, right?
For many people, they do. For someone with a purely delusional disorder, they may not. But for someone with her, what we believe to be her diagnosis, yes, we would expect her symptoms to fluctuate over time.
Between sanity and insanity. And I know that's
and it's a spectrum of varying degrees.
And she told you that on December the 8th, they woke up and went to a 12 tribes meeting that morning, correct?
Correct.
And she told you that at that 12 tribes meeting, they talked about death, and she interpreted that discussion about death as a delusional reference to her that she needed to kill herself.
I do believe I recall her talking about the meaning she assigned to the 12 tribes of perceiving that to be a message to her that she needed to kill herself, that she needed to do it.
And she took that message in her mind. She took that message as this has got to be the day that this happens at the time, right?
That seems correct with what she told me, yes.
And when they got to Canton that day around lunchtime, she was forced to go up into a room by herself. Is that right?
That is correct.
And she was forced to be in that room, even though she was telling Mr. Benjamin she did not want to be alone.
That is what she reported, yes.
Because of what she had already been experiencing.
That is correct.
she took the sign of being by herself in that room alone again as an additional signal that she needed to kill herself.
Correct.
And then ultimately she told you that the final straw, as it were, was getting this dirty shirt sent up to her, right?
Correct.
And she interpreted that dirty shirt as the last signal to her that she was not capable of living. She and her child were not capable of living, right?
Yes, I don't think those were her exact words, capable, but yes, she took it to mean that they weren't worth anything.
It was consistent with her delusions that she had been experiencing that entire day, beginning that morning they woke up, right?
Correct.
And it was at that point where she got the shirt that she went downstairs to get this knife, right?
I believe that is correct.
1 second, Judge.
Ms. Cropper, any further questions of this witness?
Just briefly. A moment ago, you said that she took the dirty shirt to mean that they weren't worth anything. So her viewpoint of why she carried out the act at that moment, as she expressed to you, was that in that moment, she felt like her and Hannah were worthless.
I would have to go back and read my words to know directly, but I recall her saying when she got the shirt, it meant that it was her language if they weren't worth anything. I don't know if I took that to mean that they were worthless.
All right. And you indicated that Miss Driver's delusions were not as fixed as some.
Right.
She had significant periods of lucidity and stability and ability to engage with the world around her.
Yes, someone with a diagnosis of a delusional disorder has very fixed delusions that do not fluctuate over time and are impossible to challenge. The nature of her mental illness was such that she was fluctuating and questioning different sets of beliefs at different times.
Okay. And some of those questioning sets of beliefs may have been related to her religious ideological views?
Yes.
Okay. And some of it may have been related to her mental health?
Correct. She articulated times at which she questioned her own mental health symptoms.
Okay. And Mr. Kessler asked you about, that she was begging these people for help and that they weren't giving it to her. Did she indicate to you at all when her and Hannah went and spent 2 days with her mother just prior to the murder, whether or not she sought out treatment or assistance from her parents?
I don't recall if she articulated the particulars of seeking out treatment. I do recall that she stated that while she was there, she then started to become paranoid of her parents and of the things that were going on around her.
Okay. And you indicated that you had reviewed some jail communication prior to your evaluation of her.
Correct.
Were you at any time aware of anyone communicating to Ms. Driver that if she acted normal in your evaluation, she would be screwing herself?
I am.
Okay. And who was that?
Her father.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
Anything else of this witness? Okay. All right. Thank you, then. You may be excused. All right, we are going to take a recess at this time. We're going to let you be in recess until 1:45. Leave us your notepads. Don't talk to each other. Be back in the jury room at 11:45, 10:45.
No, she's still Central Time. Still Central Time here in Georgia. I don't think I listened to any of that. No, there's more to come, Viv. There's more to come. The rebuttal now. We got a rebuttal. We got State to got some rebuttal. I'm not sure if the defense, they allow defense to have rebuttals as well. I'm not sure if they got anything. Lead, I don't even know what happened. I think I fell asleep. And I was snoring here. I woke up snoring. It's all good then. It's all good. I have no idea what happened, people. That's right there, Lee. You're right. Defensive now because they got the burden of proof. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I think this is probably one of the first ones we've seen where the defense have got the burden of proof. Oh, you know what it is? Oh. Keep an eye on you. You know what it is? I think because I went to the gym this morning, I think I fucked myself over going to the gym this morning. Straight after COVID, trying to jump in both 2 feet. Trying to jump in both. Fucking hell. Trying to jump in. What am I trying to say? Trying to jump in both feet first. Is that what I'm saying? I should have gone to the gym today. Now I am tired.
Erin Hartree drives a bus, yellow bus, yellow bus. Erin Hartree drives a bus all day long.
Watching yesterday now. So yesterday was quite boring, if I'm being honest with you, Erin. It was very boring. But needs must. Oh, the mother on the stand. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. The mother one's heartbreaking. That's fine. So what I'd say is you got plenty of time because today is the day when to become one. I need somebody like I never needed a girl before. Bam, bam, bam. Look at Dana Leonard, he looks like a freak show. Da, da, da. Dana looks like he's got a shield. Dana looks like his crazy mofo. Oh, oh. Today is the day. So, we've just finished the final witness from the court, not from the defense or from the state. This was a court-appointed, quarter of an hour, Viv, 10 minutes. This was a court-appointed witness. That is the case in insanity-based cases. And now the state have got to rebuttal witnesses, and maybe the defense do, because the defense have the burden of proof. Then after that, then they will sit down and go through the and discuss about the charges and jury instructions. I will probably leave that up for you. I'm not going to stay on screen for it. I'll probably leave it up for you for the geeks in the chat. And normally I'm one of them, but I haven't got the energy. Then once that's done, I will stop the stream and then, whoa, let's fly away. Let's fly away. You can fly away to stream 2 then. There's 2 streams today. I got part 1 and part B. Part B is just going to be the closing statements. Then I am not doing a verdict watch. I can't. But I don't know. So that's the plan anyway. I should not have gone to the gym this morning. I failed. So in circuit training, you got 2 sets. I only did mine once one set, and I was so knackered, and I simply feel I should not have done that today. Why am I such a dummy sometimes? Why am I such a dummy sometimes? I shouldn't have gone to the gym at all today. Should have rested up. I'm feeling a lot better, and then I go and do that. I dislike the stalkers of the prosecutor. I want to call her Karen, but Karen has a different meaning for me now. You know what I mean? But I think it's fine though. I think there's still Karens. There still always will be Karens. But spell it different. Say Karens, Karan, instead of the en. What's for dinner tonight, Dylan? Tonight is the night when I have some bacon. Bacon and baguette it is for me. I'm gonna have some bacon for me. Oh, streaky and normal bacon on a baguette. I got an air fryer, so we're trying it out. To put some bacon in there, we'll give him some clout. So I put some bacon in my baguette. No sauce, no nothing, just bacon in my baguette. I don't want anything with it. Just bacon in my baguette. Rhode Island's on fire. I had him the same thing yesterday. What's that? Right, okay, sorry. Thank you, Rhodes. Right, Deb. Is zinc, right, ladies? Is that not the same as magnesium? Is that not the same as magnesium? Because I got magnesiums. Is that not zinc, or is that completely different? So I take vitamin D in the mornings. I take my usual tablets, and then I'm going to switch now to take magnesium tablets in the mornings rather than the evenings. That's it, I think. So what the fuck is a zinc? Is it like a sink where you wash your plates, cups? Oh, oh. The jury might take a while. This is a tough decision. You'd think so, Erin, but we know what people are like, juries are like, They might come back in 30 minutes. We're just so unpredictable. I've given up predicting juries. Do you know what I mean? I won't be in for closing, but we'll be here until then. Don't worry. So there'll be another stream anyway before closings that we'll go to. So, yeah. She sounds like a biatch. We call them crusties. Call them crusties. We do. Oh, crusties.
Congratulations to Lauren Murray. Congratulations, Lauren, for yesterday. Go fuck yourself, Krusty. Go fuck yourself, Krusty. Go fuck yourself, Krusty Panties. We love you, Lauren. Let's fucking go.
Right, hang on then. Oh, I have the day off. Back, put the cups. Okay, no worries, Erin. Big. So we were doing streaky bacon in the we're doing the other bacon in the grill, but do streaky bacon because I want to put some honey and stuff on it to try a bit differently. I wish you didn't go, Jim. Hey, Tootsie Wootsie, you need to rest and hydrate. Give it some time. I know. Maybe a short wank, but hang on. Toots says, I wish you didn't go to gym. You need rest and hydrate. Maybe give it some time. Maybe a short wank, but nothing crazy. Okay, Toots, I will listen to you, my darling. Okay, crazy, Toots, but hey, I don't argue with you, Toots. Potty button is somewhere. Zinc is different. Okay, thank you, people. Okay, before I say anything further, El Chatti, we are the best, aren't we? Okay, I will go back to all this. Thank you, everybody. Shout out to our wonderful and beautiful Miss H. Gold, who needs our shout out at the minute. Her mother is ill, suffered a stroke. So shout out to you, Miss H. Gold. Send our love, our prayers, and everything goes to your mother for a swift recovery, my darling. I hope she feels better soon. Take care of yourself. Don't overdo it yourself, my darling. And yeah, look after yourself. And yeah, chat if you can put some prayers in the chat for Miss H Gold's mother as well for a swift recovery. So there you go, my darling. I hope that is good for you. Be thinking of you, Miss H Gold, and your mother, of course. Okay, I will look at that now. Okay, hang on. Potty Mouth's here somewhere. You're not a dummy. Hey, Potty Mouth, how are you, my darling? You're trying to push yourself, and that's not dumb. Also, lots of times exercise energizes you. So again, you're not a dummy. Thank you, my darling. I was just fucked today. I was literally fucked. And I think it's affecting me now. Magnesium and calcium and zinc. Fucking hell. Anybody who's in the UK here? Anybody from the UK in chat that knows about zinc? Gary's in the UK. Zinc improves sleep quality. Zinc helps produce melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. Okay. Everyone wants me to have a... I'm joking, obviously. Thank you, everybody. Short walk. I know, Tootsie. So sorry. There you go, Miss H. Cole. There you go. Look all the love for Miss H. Cole's mother. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think, Potty Mouth, I think you've been messaging me on Twitter. I think I will look at it in a little bit. Talking about legends. Dennis Sweeney, hello, sir. How are you, sir? Hope you're well. Best love to Brenda, as always. Raise your hand if you're a Paddington chat. Paddington, okay, got to go for it. See, I told you about zinc. He never listens to me. Yeah, I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to get. Which zinc am I supposed to get then? Does it matter? I need to get my chemist on this so they can tell me what to get. Hey, Anthony boy, how's it go, fella? Lisa Reed, hey, my darling. Dennis, Miss Hitchgold, thoughts of prayers and hugs for your mama. There you go, Heather. Potty Mouth. Hello, Heather Taylor. Strongbow. Hey, Dennis Reed, let me check. Yeah, because Holland Barrett. If I go to Holland and Barrett right now, right, what do I need to buy? Gary, you know what I'm talking about, yeah? Miss H Gold, you know what I'm talking about, Miss H Gold. Holland and Barrett, what do I buy? There, that's because that's where I'm going to get it from. Hey, we're back. Back again. Court is back. Tell a friend.
Members of the jury, the state has rebuttal evidence that it is going to present at this time.
We call Hannah Jarrett. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Can you state your name?
Deanna Jarrett.
All right. Ms. Jarrett, you previously testified that part of your responsibilities at the district attorney's office is reviewing jail calls and jail communication.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, I would tender States Exhibit 134 and 135 by agreement of the parties.
No objection.
States 134 and 135 are admitted.
Are you familiar with what is represented in States 134 and 135?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And what are those?
They're jail calls that Chloe Driver made to her mother, Renee Driver. These calls were made in February of 2021. The first call was February the 21st of 2021, and the second call is February the 23rd of 2021.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm publishing States Exhibit 134, which is the February 21st, 2021 call.
Thank you. Please remain on the line. Hold for acceptance. This is a prepaid call from
Chloe Driver.
an inmate at the Cherokee County Jail, Georgia, carried by Consolidated Telecom. Three-way or call waiting is not allowed and may automatically disconnect this call. This call is subject to monitoring and recording. If you are an attorney or designated legal counsel, contact inmatesales.com at 702-931-3938 to have your number set to do not record. Please select from the following options if you consent to this call being recorded, and to accept this call, dial 1 now. To reject this call, your call has been accepted. Chloe?
Yeah.
Hey, I saw the 386 number. And I'm like, I'm not gonna answer that.
Yeah, it just, there's a, like, it's gonna, what you call it, mirror your number. Like, if I call anybody, it's gonna mirror your number. I don't know why it does that, but it's,
Okay, because I called twice, and I'm like, who do I know in Florida that's in jail? I'm like, my two other jailbirds are right here in this house.
right.
So I don't look at Tyler here, and I'm like, well, I don't need to answer those calls, because I don't need to know, you know, but now if I know it's you, I'll answer.
Right. Yeah.
But so I assume you're in regular.
Yeah, I'm in medical. They moved me. I have a roommate. It's been really good.
Okay, just be careful with what you say.
Yeah.
And are you more comfortable over there, or you have a, like, you people like?
But they're gonna move us to a quieter part, I think. They're gonna move us to a quieter part medical.
I still don't understand what medical is. I don't get why you're not in whatever. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's just whatever. I don't know. I know if I ask, if they look into it for me, but right now I'm okay where I'm at. Like they remain, I'm really sure at the moment. So.
Okay. You get okay on snacks and books.
Yeah, I mean, I would like if you could add like 500. And just keep, like 500, because I put all my money on the phone, like 100 left. I put it onto the phone. It's expensive calling. Yeah, you could.
Wow, so you could possibly set up for that's a lot of money that you're spending on writing.
It's like, $3 for 15, it's like $3 to $4 for 15 minutes.
So you've been calling quite a bit?
No, I just within the last, not really, I mean, I think I have $100 left from the 200 that you put on. But now I'm asking for 500 to be put on. Because,
So you can call Brian. Okay. So you can call Brian.
I did call him, we talked, and is Dad able to meet with him in like Waynesville or Silva
Nope.
tomorrow
For what?
for the money?
Chloe, no. No. I'm not gonna do it. That is yours and you're gonna get it for the rest, for however long you're in jail.
What?
That money is for you to eat and to survive on.
And he's going,
For
he's
how?
gonna give me the money too, like he said he will, like, it's.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You're gonna be dropped out of his life the next year. I promise you.
Fine.
What? The money is not even available right now. His dad he's invested.
Invested in what? I never said that happened. I said that he could do whatever he said that was like when he was gonna like make, you can invest a couple hundred or something in something.
He doesn't have the money he doesn't have it to get right away.
Can you explain that?
I just did, he invested it.
And why?
I don't know, you have to talk to Dad about it. You have to start calling his phone number.
Well, I tried to call him, he didn't answer.
Oh, he's like, he's leaving.
So you're telling me there's no way to get, I think you're lying. Are you sure about that? Like, there's really no way to get it, right?
I believe me, Chloe, I'm not lying to you. I have no reason to lie to you.
Huh?
I have no reason to lie to you. We were trying to make a confusion for you and Hannah. We were trying to make a confusion for you and Hannah. And some of it was invested, and when all this happened, he went ahead and invested all of it. I mean, he can get it, but it's not gonna be.
Can he speak with Brian? Can they set up communications with each other? Can you please have Dad talk to him? Because Brian said that Dad promised to call him, and he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, Dad doesn't want to call anybody.
Okay.
Brian Leonard decides to throw these little words in. How we promised this, or how we promised that. Or I refuse an animal, or whatever. He doesn't tell us the truth, guys.
Well, he said he didn't have the unicorn when you asked for it, and his dad asked for it, but he has the unicorn now.
Sorry, but it's not worth $65,000. Or whatever it was. And you're silly if you're gonna, I'm telling you, Chloe, you're gonna lose your family if you go this route. And if you're okay with that, then so be it.
No, I feel like when things settle down, everything will be okay again. I mean, when it's all heated right now.
Well, you are not thinking clearly, because giving him that money, you'll never see anything again. You'll never see any of it again.
Say such cruel things about him, like it's not. Please don't do that.
Chloe, he's moving on after this is over. I want you to realize that. He's moving on to his next victim. The next young children he can brainwash.
Children, really young.
Oh, were you 16 when you done?
Okay, guys.
You were kids, of course.
Huh?
Anyway.
can't stay mad at them. You can't. I know you
I
want.
can't say that, I'm going to destroy my family's life.
I did.
I can't.
I decided.
No, we both did that.
Really? Because all he ever did was try to fix our family. Like, remember, like, he would make me.
Stop.
What do you mean?
Stop.
Okay, that is true. I just thought.
Your father and I have never needed fixing. So I don't even know what you mean by that.
Emotionally, you were very, what do you mean? Everyone?
No, I mean, emotionally, you had your problems and you never shared them with us. So, you know what, fine.
I think I could.
Well,
But then he taught me how to.
you found a 40-year-old man at age 16 to share your issues with. Good for you. And look where you're at.
Well, can you move the money?
I'll talk to Dad.
Can Dad?
You need to go through Angela about all this instead of something on and on a recorded phone call.
It's okay. It's okay if you, okay, all right.
The thing is up to you, what it's like.
It would, Mom, it would be okay if you just told Dad to speak with him. Then it wouldn't be anybody.
I'm not telling your father anything. Your dad's rocking for a reason.
Mom, you can't just steal my money. Mom, that's what you're doing.
Is that what you think I'm doing?
No, I think that's what you're doing if you don't listen. Please don't do this. Don't make a war between us. Like, I'm asking you to do something with my money. Can you please just.
Please, the only person that made a war between us is you. I don't touch your money, and nor do I want to touch that money.
Okay, Mom, can you please have that unblocked?
Again, I will talk to him, and I will talk to Angela. Or you can talk to Angela.
Well, all we need to do is just tell
And
them.
Lori, Chloe, I don't want a penny from you. You took everything away from me that ever mattered from you.
I'm glad that we're
So
on.
don't ever accuse me of stealing any money.
No.
See, you don't understand what we're going through. You really don't.
Julia, I know you're not trying to steal my money, but you're trying to rule over me like I'm a 5-year-old, and it's not okay. You give the money to him.
Somebody should have taken over somebody should have treated you like a 5-year-old 5 years ago. You would have never been in this mess today.
Yeah, you should have, and I wouldn't have been in the situation, but you never cared to.
Look, are you kidding me? Is it my fault?
I know you were.
Ms. Jarrett, you indicated that was on February 21st of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the next call was on what date?
February the 23rd of 2021.
Publishing States Exhibit 135.
Thank you. Please remain on the line. Hold for acceptance. This is a prepaid call from
Chloe Driver.
an inmate at the Cherokee County Jail, Georgia, carried by Consolidated Telecom. Three-way or call waiting is not allowed and may automatically disconnect this call. This call is subject to monitoring and recording. If you are an attorney or designated legal counsel, contact inmatesales.com at 702-931-3938 to have your number set to do not record. Please select from the following options if you consent to this call being recorded, and to accept this call, dial 1 now. To reject this call, your call has been accepted.
Hello? Hey.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Hear me now?
Yes.
I saw Angie today. I didn't get my number. She can't saw me, so now I'm on my free time, and don't know if did she tell you that I was gonna call?
She said you were gonna try to call, but, I mean, it is what it is. I didn't know if I was gonna hear from you or not.
Well, just for future reference, you can hit number, you can push 1 to accept the.
I know that now. I know that.
Okay. Yeah. So me first answer. Well, I talked to her and I guess you'll be happy to know that they blocked him. I can't call him, so. And I'm not gonna be talking to him. They blocked the number.
Only because you're being forced not to talk to him, right?
I mean, basically, yeah. What do you want me to stop?
But you still don't understand, do you?
Well, I'm not gonna pursue it.
I mean, the things you said to me, the things that you said to me the other day when we talked was just, it was just hateful.
When I said.
And I can't.
When I was saying.
What?
You stole, when I'm saying like stealing money, like, when you had said the investment thing, that's what, because I didn't say, like, I didn't know anything about that. But now I understand what you were saying, and I actually appreciate it.
It's just a different account. It's not something that, well, it doesn't matter, because it's not happening. I refuse.
Confused what?
I'm either gonna give it to charity or the government before I give it to him.
Okay, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I can't pursue it anymore, you know, I'm not gonna, if I was free to do that, I was gonna pursue it, but I mean, like, they're kind of making it to where.
I do not want to talk about that. I do not want to talk about the money anymore. I am sensitive to this money. It's been nothing but a curse. I wish it was never in my account to manage. If I would have known this was gonna happen, I would have never accepted the money. It's nothing but a headache. I don't want a penny of it. I never have, never will. And as far as the other thing that you said was pretty hateful, I mean, and you know, it's not my fault that you're going through this. And I was not attacking neither to any of you.
I don't know where you're getting all this from, but we should like just stop talking.
Because you told me I should have been more strict. When I said I should have been more strict, you said yes. Then maybe this wouldn't have happened. But Chloe, I don't think you remember how you were as a teenager.
No,
You never listened to, yeah, you never listened to me. Just like now, you still don't listen to me. I can tell you what's best for you, and you'll just argue with me because it's not what you want. And the fact of the matter is I've got 30 years on you. Okay, you're 20 years old and you're inexperienced and you just are going with the first thing that you go, the first person that you met with, or met. That happened to be twice your age or more. Which means he's got plenty of life experience, way more than you will, or that you have. So, I also have way more life experience than you. And I really wish, just once in a while, you would actually take my advice. But if you choose you don't want to take my advice, that's fine. Then there's really no reason for you to call.
Okay, then can you move all the money back into my, like, then, okay, so, I'm talking
No.
to you, and how am I supposed to get what I need from commissary? How am I supposed to get it? I will talk to either of you.
Dad and I are gonna start putting money on your account. It's gonna be a lot less than what you're used to.
Oh, you're gonna start trading?
You've got money on there right now. You've got probably, I think, about $200 on there. That will last you quite a while.
I moved half of it to my phone, so I only have 127 on it, and I moved, there's 50 of it, actually about 40 now, on the phone, and I can't move it back, so.
Okay, well, your father just put another 100 on it yesterday.
Okay.
So whatever's on your phone, so you can check it, you just need to spend it wisely. Okay?
And start doing it, like you're just gonna start doing it weekly.
No, we're gonna watch and see when you're going down, or you can give me a call, or you can give your father a call.
But it makes it sound like you don't want me to do that.
Well, probably, you need to manage this money. You can call us once a week if you need anything. You can call once a week if you need anything. If you want to talk and be civil, you can call twice a week. I don't care. But the point is you haven't been, since you've been starting to talk to him, you've changed right back to the old Chloe that was before any of this came out. Stubborn, he knows everything, nobody else knows anything type of person. And I don't want to deal with that Chloe. I want to deal with the Chloe that
Well, I would like to just.
you were before you started talking to him again.
Well, the me that started talking at me before was doing a lot of drugs. So, I mean, he
What kind of drugs?
I was like, what do you mean? Like,
I'm talking about a month ago when you weren't talking to him, you were civil. What are you talking about drugs? What do you mean?
I thought you missed him way back.
No, Chloe, oh my God. You're such a confused little girl.
Okay, I just want to wrap up.
Are you still taking your medicine?
Yes.
That they're giving you? Well, maybe you need something stronger.
That's really fucked up for you to say that to me.
Don't talk to me that way, and you know it's not.
You're being really rude.
Really? Don't talk to me like that. No, I'm not. I'm speaking the truth.
No, you think you're speaking like that. It's still for you to say you're not qualified to say that. Are you a doctor? You want me to start with?
What else do you need, Chloe? What else?
You agreed, because of the funeral, you agreed to give $5,000, and I think that's fair. Because
Well, you know what though? I just found out the state of Georgia will reimburse him. And I agreed to that before I talked to Dad. Dad doesn't want to touch that money. Other than giving you the money that you need, because it's not our money, yeah, we have to deal with it.
No, I heard what she told me today. She was making it sound like she was scaring you into not touching it.
Karen, who?
You.
Who are you talking about?
Tell Angela to not touch that money.
No, she didn't scare me into not touching it.
Huh?
No, she didn't scare me into not touching it.
Okay, well, I mean, she told me that she told you that.
Okay.
And it sounds like you're listening to her by saying that you're trying not to touch the money. You're trying not to have anything to do with it.
I already told you, I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you can wrap up this conversation. But so you know for a fact, Mom, that he's going to be reimbursed for that? Because if he's not, I was like...
That according to, yes, I heard that from Angela. That there's a victim advocate or something to do with funeral. I mean, it's been a while since she told me, so I can't really remember what she said word for word, but...
Okay, then I'll talk with her, and if I get confirmation that's the case, that can be the last that we talk about the money, because I don't want to talk about
Okay, that's all I want to hear about, that's what I want to hear. But you're not going to go without.
Okay.
You might not go without, okay?
All right, if that confirmation doesn't come, though, I want to have the $5. That's only if she doesn't know for sure she's going to get that. But...
Well, I'm sure there's a process he has to go through. It just doesn't get nailed in. I mean, he's going to probably have to show how much it costs or whatever. And I'm sure there's I'm sure there's a limit or whatever, but I don't know. I have no idea. I've never went through all that. I don't know.
Well, that's the only thing I'm gonna be talking about, if somehow he
It's
doesn't.
so bad. I just don't want to talk about it because I don't care about it.
Okay, well, it's just one little thing, like, it's just that one thing. If, then, that,
Corey, I really feel like you're being very disrespectful with your tone and your words and you swearing. I really do. You put this family through a lot, and somehow you're being bitchy to me.
because of what happened yesterday, I think it's like,
What happened yesterday? I didn't talk to you yesterday. You called me 3 times and I didn't answer.
okay, sorry, the day before, time's a little funky here.
Mm-hmm. When you were very rude.
When you were telling me what you were going to do with my money, I felt like that was rude and hateful.
Enough, Corey. You're going to be taken care of, whether it comes out of your money or whether it comes out of that loan or whether it comes out of my money, okay? You'll be taken care of. But stop making it sound like it's your money to where you're controlling me. This is not happening that way.
I just want to know where my money is at and what's happening with my money.
Your money is in a different account.
Okay.
That's all I know. Dad put it away. I don't talk to him about it. He doesn't talk to me about it. The only time this ever comes up is when you are on the phone. Like I said, we're going to lower your budget and we'll take care of it. Just got to be very, very careful on how you spend, because I'm not going to be putting $200 and $500 down on your account like you were asking. I'm not doing that.
Okay, well, you thought to do that just a few weeks ago, you thought that was a great idea to do.
I told you this call will be terminated in 2 minutes. Chloe, I told you they charge 10%. You're the one that said put more. Dad doesn't want to, and we're not going to.
Fine, I'm just saying. So when I need books.
Then you give me a call. We'll see how much they are, and we'll go from there.
You can go on like cheap, and there's something called.
I know.
Like,
I know. We will. But you really need to be managing your commissary money.
well,
You know.
you're not for me.
Fine.
You're the one in control of it. I don't think you're going to be doing that for me.
How come that when you order your food?
Well, I skipped it a couple of times.
This call will be terminated in 1 minute. I get that, Chloe. I get that. I'm just saying, please start watching and paying attention. And you've done good so far, except for the phone calls. I think you're spending way too much money on phone calls. But that's about to be over.
Well, one, yeah, it's about to be over. Two, because they called during the weekend, and weekends are more expensive on the phone. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Well, just call during the week, okay?
So, yeah, I will. Well, now that I know that, and this is probably going to hang up, so I'll call back and, call back again. Because,
Okay.
so I'm almost done with my Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Like my monkey read. She really likes it too. But when was about to be done with that, I'm thinking about.
This call was terminated because it exceeded.
I don't have any further questions.
I don't have any questions.
You can step down. Thank you. Any other evidence from the state? All right. Members of the jury, then that concludes the presentation of evidence in this case. We have some matters that we are going to need to discuss before, outside your presence, before we move.
That is worth pausing. I hope you fucking booked it, you mofo. Spacey Stacey, let's get that up your ass, yeah? Let's get that camera up your ass, Spacey Stacey. If I need to come and do it myself, I will. We need to book you into that, my darling. We need to get you into it. Night Viv. Hello, everybody. Right, Spacey Stacey. I forgot everything about it. Thank you for reminding me. I hope you're going to book it now, my darling. Oh, right.
Move on to the next phase of the trial, which will be the attorney's closing arguments. I know you ordered lunch. It probably isn't here yet. I am going to let you be in recess until 1 o'clock. If the lunch isn't here yet, certainly feel free to step outside and make calls, whatever you'd like to do during your lunch recess. But we will see you back in the jury room at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Pause it for a second. Robert, it's because anything up your ass, I thought it was good. I thought you girls loved that. As look at Sarah P trying to be all this and I never had it been done before. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to get something up there. Like Sarah does every week. People don't need to be fooled. And you need to get it done as well, Stacey. Here we go, everyone. Let's get it done. Night, Viv. Let's everyone in El Chatty, all you women, get the colonoscopy done. Everyone should do it at the same time. When you're 45, yeah. Well, depends. Have you got any history in your family? If not, then get it when you're 45, yes. All right. We are family. We all love colonoscopies. Yeah. We are family. We should all get colonoscopies. Yeah. Oh, Spacey Stacey, camera up on me, want me. Right. Oh, they gone. So they come back at 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock UK time. Lady Di. I did not like those phone calls with the mother as well. I was like, no compassion. I was like, fucking hell, this girl's fucked in life. No compassion. Amy's a pro. Amy is an expert getting stuff up her ass. So there you go. I've had it. It was fine. I woke up a few times. Woke up and said, what's that stuff? They were like, go back to sleep, son. And shut the fuck up. They're one of the easiest things in the world. You just should get it for peace of mind. I had mine 2 years ago. Yeah, there you go, Amy. It's nothing, is it? The worst part is the day before, prepping. That's the worst part. A history of Seth getting potty mouth. See, anything like that, you need to get tested. No, she's a pro with that. She's a pro with that. I never used to take it seriously, but I do take it seriously now because I know how easy it is. And it's like, if you got polyps there, they take it out, and if you've got something, it's better to find it early. So yeah, Get it done, people. Same with the boys. Get your prostates done, boys. Squeeze! All the men love butt stuff. Stop it, lol. Amy, she's got big boobies. Amy. Yeah, it's a prep. It is. But Stacey, honestly, it's the best thing you could do. But also, you don't. No, not really. You only do one day off because the prep you could do the night before and the morning of. Depends when you get your appointment. It depends when you get your appointment. Mine was like 9 o'clock in the morning, I think it was. So I had to do mine and start there like I think 2 o'clock in the afternoon the day before. But if it was like after lunch, you do half of it the night before and half in the morning. Well, whenever people say Amy's full of shit, you can say, no, she's not. Stop you, nurse Sarah P. Don't you use any excuses. You should be advocating, going, fuck the 2 days, just get it done. Just get it done. You will feel better done. You all loving all. It's like 2 days of fun for you. Nurses are the worst patients. I can imagine you are. I remember when I got my colonoscopy, actually, nurses are all like, get some, there's 2 options. You can have gas and air or an injection, something in whatever. And they couldn't get, I said I wanted the thingy in my arm. You know, I don't want gas and air, like. And the nurses are all like, no, gas and air, gas and air, gas and air. The doctor's like, get the fuck out of here. You're getting, so they couldn't put it in. He had to put it on my wrist then, or on the front of my hand. That was a good one, both literal and comical. You see, I try. During COVID, my niece and I bought some colon cleanse drink, which was 3 days straight. It was awful. Now I have PTSD. Probably shouldn't. I bought that crap from Amazon. So good. Yeah, no, you'll be fine, my darling. You'll be fine. One time I had to do colonoscopy and then the endoscopy. I told her to do both at the same time and meet in the middle. Also said don't use same camera for both. Can you imagine? 2 for 1. 2 for 1. There you go. 2 for 1. 2 for the price of 1. Pink and brown. Yeah, I know it's not the best subject in the world to discuss, but let me just tell you. Get it done, get it done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get it done, ladies, get it done, ladies. Just like anal, as Amy said. Umzu. I don't know what umzu is. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Do you all like my t-shirt? What would like my t-shirt? My ducky. What are we waiting for now? Because he dies so fucking impatient. It's unbelievable. They make a pill now for the colonoscopy cleanse. That drink made me bath. Yeah, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. So, what we're doing now, or what they're doing now, they might be taking a quick break. They will be. What I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do? No, do you know what? Shut it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to redirect to the other stream. So that's what I'll do. Because those people that want to watch then discussing the charges and stuff, you can do. And those that you just want to have a break like I do, then you can come back at 2 o'clock Eastern then. And they should be back. Probably won't be back knowing these guys. But that's what they're going to do now, is they are going to allegedly go through some of the charges. No, two streams as in this one be shut and then going over to the other one. This would automatically take you over, Robin, if people want to do that. Oh, nice, Gary, nice. So we'll do it that way. It's easier. I wasn't thinking of doing it straight away now, but I think it's probably easier because I want to take a break. We've got an hour and a half. We're going to make some dinner. If we've got an hour and a half before it comes back. So that's what we'll do. Executive decision. We'll do that. So you should be all sent over. Obviously, I know some of you watching other trials and stuff like that. But come back at 2:00 on the other one. So with that, I'll stop this one and I'll see you on the other side of the other one. I'll start that one when I get there. Love you all. See you in a little bit. I'm sure Sarah P will put the link in if you don't get it. Or search it, people. I'm over there. Oh, my days are come.